Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to install the small tray. The installation will be the same whether you're installing it on a Eco front rack or an Eco rear rack. In this example, we're gonna be doing it on the front. So in the tray, you'll notice that there are some small arrows, and those are gonna point towards the bike. So you have two options for orientation, one that is a bit longer and one that is a bit wider. Either way, make sure that those arrows are pointing towards the bike. So to start, we're gonna put it in place. In this example, I'm gonna put it in this orientation, which is wider, and I'm gonna identify the holes that match up between the tray and the rack. I see that it's these two at the very front. So I'm lining up the holes in the tray to the rack, and I can see through. So that is these four in the tray, and so on the rack it is these two, and it's also these two adjacent to the slots. So now that I know which ones those are, I'm gonna set the tray aside for now. I'm going to grab the four spacers. So I'm gonna carefully place each of these spacers over the correct holes, and then I'm gonna carefully put the tray right into position and drop 4 bolts in place. Paying attention that this is still oriented correctly, I'm going to carefully drop the tray into position. That looks good. So without moving it, I'm going to drop a bolt through each position, and that's going through the tray, through the spacer, and all the way through the rack. Once those are in place, it can't move. So you can just leave it there. And one at a time, we're just gonna start the washer and the nut onto each of these bolts. Once we get them all started, we'll work our way around and tighten them by hand. And that's our final one started. To tighten this, it's the same hardware that you would be using for a lot of our accessories, which is a 3mm hex key. In this case, I've got it on a socket wrench, and an 8mm wrench. So it doesn't matter where you start. We'll just work our way around and tighten all 4. Okay, that's all 4 of our bolts and nuts tightened. And that's the simple installation of the Eco small tray.